Last month, we discussed conflict and its impact on our emotional well being. Mr. Christopher Page, Executive Director of the Conflict Resolution Center of Montgomery County, returns to discuss conflict resolution. That's next on Wellbeing Matters. Thank you for tuning in to Wellbeing Matters. Mr. Christopher Page is back from the Conflict Resolution Center of Montgomery County, or better known as CRCMC. CRCMC is committed to strengthening communities piece by piece or through the process of mediation. Mr. Page, thanks so much for returning.
Thank you for having me.
So, for those who may have missed the first episode, would you please briefly describe conflict and how it impacts us emotionally?
So conflict is a clash between two individuals, and what it is a clash that's brought through a process of either misunderstanding or a lack of information, interest, requirements, or even sometimes perceptions. And as conflict arises, it can cause stress, cause depression, could cause serious anger management issues. And so that's why we try to do services to help alleviate that stress and give people strategies so that they can address conflict in a good way. Because not all conflict is bad.
Say it again.
Because not all conflict is bad. Sometimes conflict is good because through conflict, you can find new ideas, new ways, and new approaches to address issues. And so not all conflict is bad.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point to remember. So speaking of strategies, would you please share some ideas or strategies for how to go about resolving conflict in a more positive way?
Well, one thing is always find ways to approach the individual and learn the types of people you're dealing with. If you know that the person is always confrontational, sometimes you don't address the conflict while both of you are heated. Find a good time to address the issue. The second thing I would say is when you're talking with someone, make sure you do strategic listening. So with strategic listening, you're listening to figure out what do they value? What things that are important to them? Like, for example, when I'm in a conflict with my wife, she values cleanliness. I don't value cleanliness, so that's why I don't clean the kitchen. So I have to make sure I listen to when she's saying, you really messed up in this kitchen, it's always a mess. In my mind, because I don't value cleanliness, I don't think it's a mess. But because I understand that's what she values, I have to make sure I pay attention to what she's valued. And I'm doing strategic listening to hear what she values, her feelings, and then really identifying what is the issue. And so sometimes when people are in conflict, they're arguing with someone and really they're not even arguing over the issue because they're not listening to each other to really identify the issue. So make sure you're listening for what the issue is, understand that issue, understand what they value, and then talk to them and be able to express to them what you value on that topic. So that they can understand that, you may value time, or you may value, because I value time, the reason why I leave stuff out is because I'm rushing to the next thing. And so then that's where my wife can understand, hey, well, why don't you make sure you're not rushing to the next thing so that you can put the thing in the trash?
Yeah, it's so much harder to engage in that strategic listening when emotions are high.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And so also I would say if you can't do it and emotions get so high you can't work with it, you find organizations like ours so that we can help you be a neutral party. Because sometimes it gets so high and sometimes another way to manage conflict is identifying agency and places where you can go to address those types of issues.
That was my very next question. What are some available resources that people can utilize when they're struggling with conflict, either at home or at work?
Well, one of the things we could do is contact the emergency assistance program if they're with MCPS and they're having issues at work, but also they could contact Conflict Resolution Center in Montgomery County. We offer free services to help people engaging conflict and help them come together with a neutral party to come up with a decision on their own. We try to make sure that sometimes people go to court, but we try to get people to save money, save time, and most importantly, save stress by coming to an organization like ours who are professionals that help them deal with conflict. And then another way that if you're dealing with conflict and you don't think that we can help or you want to find other services, you can also call 311, and then Montgomery County will refer you to other agencies. They may assist you with doing conflict if there's a better business dispute or other types of disputes where you're having issues with those type of agencies. You can call 311 and they can refer you to parties.
Very helpful, Mr. Page. Thank you so much for returning and sharing your valuable wisdom with us regarding conflict.
Well, thank you for having me. And anytime you're in a conflict, you can contact us because we try to strengthen the community piece by piece.
Sounds good. Thank you for joining us for this valuable conversation on conflict resolution. If you missed the first episode, you can find the link in the YouTube description. MCPS employees, please know the Employee Assistance Program is here for you and your family members, whether you're experiencing any life challenge, including conflict. We offer no-cost professional and confidential counseling. Thank you for watching Wellbeing Matters, and be well, everyone.